Today, we're going to talk. Today, we're talking about. You're idiots. Today, we're talking about the Nintendo Switch.
What's on Jay's mind?
Okay, so let's get into it. The Nintendo Switch is coming out soon. I know I'm a little bit late getting this video out, but you know, saw my update video a few days ago. I was sick and I just couldn't do it. So we're gonna do it now because it's still something that, you know, we talk about and we care about, and well, video games. So there's that. So Nintendo Switch comes out in March. What is today's date? Actually, today is
24th.
January 26th. You were close. January 26th. The Switch comes out in 2 months. 2 months? Is it 2 months? March what? 3rd. I thought it came out beginning of March.
Month and a half, or actually month and a week.
Month and a week. Ooh, wow. Fuck. Okay. Month and a week. So,
It's the 3rd.
the 3rd, March 3rd, right. Anyhow, we're rambling, taking too much time on when the fucking thing comes out. So I pre-ordered one. Pre-ordered one at GameStop.
I did not.
You did not. But you're going to play mine, and you'll definitely probably be there when we go get it at midnight launch, and we'll do a video and all that shit. And that'll probably most likely go up on the Game Chasers channel, just like we did with the Wii U a few years back.
The reason I didn't order one is because, I mean, it's one of those things. For some reason, I'm always late when it comes to getting the consoles when they first come out. Like literally every time. I don't think I've ever pre-ordered a console. So I mean, I'll get it when I get it. You know.
No, I know, and that's just, you're right. Actually, now that you say that, I'm thinking about that. That's just kind of what you do. But me and Melvor, we usually get ours launch day, or one of us does at least. Wii U, I know he got his launch day, and mine came. Actually, no, I kind of just confiscated his. And
yeah, he left his
at your my place, right? And my son basically claimed it for himself. So Melvor actually wound up buying himself another one. So, but anyhow, one of us is getting the Wii Switch at launch, and we will, like I said, do a video on that. Hopefully, it's not going to be a freaking 3-hour update right out of the box, just like the Wii U was.
I think it's inevitable in this day and age, though.
Yeah, I agree, but you know, hope for the best, expect the worst. That's kind of where I'm at with things, and I mean, with life, I always hope for the best, but if shit goes down, you expected it. But so
shit goes down, get you AR-15.
AR-15s, right. Okay, but let's talk about. So now we know more about the Switch. At least there's been videos released. There's been games announced. There's been all kinds of things with the Switch now. It's Wii. I'm going to continue to say Wii in this video. I know I am. Anyhow, so it is a console / handheld hybrid.
Yeah, I mean,
of sorts, if you will.
I just don't. Let me just get this out of the way right now. I understand that that's probably going to have mass appeal, but for the especially for the casual and the handheld people. For me personally, I just want Nintendo to build the best, most powerful system that they can, just to play first-party games on your television set, and that's all. I mean, I'm a simple guy, but Nintendo loves doing gimmicks. And this is their latest gimmick. It worked for the Wii.
It worked for the Wii. Very much worked for the Wii.
But I don't know. It just seems like they're always making decisions that hold them back in some way. I think what it is though, the Wii was an anomaly because the Wii was popular amongst everyone, not just gamers, quote unquote gamers. You know, grandmother could play bowling again. You know, her arthritis wouldn't. You know, he keeps her from playing regular bowling, so play bowling Wii. Right, so I think that's why the Wii was an anomaly, but it seems like other than that, everything that Nintendo has done console-wise since the Super Nintendo has held it back in some way. Like N64 using carts instead of CDs. Well, what happened? Final Fantasy couldn't fit their games on cart anymore, so they moved to the PlayStation. GameCube, third-party developers didn't like having to split their game up on 2 discs because the discs were small. Or trying to fit it onto one disc, so a lot of them didn't put their games on the GameCube. Wii U, I mean, we all know what happened to the Wii U. I'm just curious to kind of see how the Switch plays out in that regard.
Well, see, now, as far as I know, they're going back to cartridges of sorts.
Which I think that's kind of cool.
Okay, I was going to ask how you felt about that. So it's not necessarily cartridges. They're more like DS games. I think they're a little bit bigger, a little bit wider.
They're SD cards.
SD card, right.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that? Do you think it's going to affect anything as far as graphics go? Mainly graphics. Is that going to take a hit?
I don't think so. I think it just depends on like the speed of the kind of cards that they use, because every card has a speed in which it can be read from.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
And I mean, I just don't know like the specific details with all that stuff.
Right.
But in terms of overall storage space, you can fit a hell of a lot more on one of those storage cards than you can like a Blu-ray even.
Really?
Yeah. It depending on the size that you use.
See, I'm glad you're here because this is things I don't know. Actually, I'm not very tech savvy, and yes, that even includes SD cards, memory cards, whatever you want to call them. But okay, so that's good to know, and maybe people out there didn't know that, so maybe we're teaching people something.
I will say that the potential to put more on the card is there.
Okay.
Yeah. It doesn't necessarily mean that every game is going to have more data than like a Blu-ray or whatever, but you can fit more.
Will this eliminate load times, or at least make them a lot?
And I think that has to do with the speed of the card used, like I was saying. And I don't know any of the specifics or tech stuff in terms of that, but potentially, I mean, it just depends, because everything, when you put media in your system, whether it be a DVD, CD, Blu-ray, or a card, it's got to read off of that.
Sure.
And I know that the Switch storage is very, very low, so you're not going to be loading a hell of a lot of games from the card to the system itself, and you're going to be reading it right from that card on most times.
Hang on, let me touch on that for a minute. That's not a bad thing, because nowadays with like PS4, and I'm sure Xbox is the same way, but you have to take basically the data from the disc and load it onto your console in order for you to play. You can't just put the disc in and it plays.
Right, because the Blu-ray, like you take like GTA 5, how huge that map is and stuff. You wouldn't be able to keep up with the laser reading off the disc in order for you to play.
Right.
It would just be like a laggy mess.
So in my opinion, that is good, because like you said, take GTA, 60 gig. Okay, when PS4 came out, I was like, oh, it's 500 gigs. Well, one game could be a fifth of that. And some games, GTA is big. Uncharted 4 was big. The baseball games are big. The wrestling games are big. You get too many games on your console, then you got to start deleting shit. And once you got to start deleting, not your save data, but you got to delete the install data. But once you do that, if you decide you want to go back to that game, now you got to put it in and wait for the entire install again. So this should eliminate that.
Which leads me to believe, and again, I know there's a lot of people watching this probably know a lot more about it than I do, just from the specifics and researching what the specs are. But to me, when I look at how small the hard drive is on the Switch, it tells me that you probably don't have to load most games, and most games are going to be fine being read straight off of the card itself. I'm
actually okay with that, and I think that's an advantage to the Switch, to Nintendo. I think that'll work in their favor, because again, I mean, I have a library of PS4 games that if I were to put in right now, I would have to wait an hour for them to reload onto the system before I could play them again.
Right, so more than likely what the hard drive is going to be mostly used for is like download games, virtual console, stuff like that.
Okay, speaking of virtual console, we'll get into that next. Supposedly, now Nintendo is going to be charging for their online and for access to their store and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
and people are griping about it, but is that any different than what's already been happening?
You have to get with the times. If you want a service, look at it this way. Nintendo's online service has been shit. You can't look at the Wii with friend codes, and I'm not sure how much better the Wii U was more over that, because I didn't really play the Wii U online that much. But if you want a premium service like PlayStation Network or Xbox Live, you have to pay for it, because that costs money. Nintendo's not going to go out of pocket on all this stuff. They have to make their money. So if you want a service like that, you got to pay for it. So it's no different.
No, it's no different. And I got to be honest. I mean, y'all know me. I don't do Microsoft. Sorry, I don't do Xbox. But when PlayStation went to it, I was a little irritated. I was a little perturbed by it. But if with PSN or PSN Plus actually is what it is, if you download games every single month, there are free games and there are discounted games. So that's, what is it, $60 I think you pay a year. You get that back if you download games. And as simple as just going to the PlayStation Store, and it's like literally free games. Like, I mean, it's free. You're going to make your money back over the course of the year. So that's how you can kind of look at it, as a small investment to get potentially, hundreds of dollars, multiple hundreds of dollars of games for free. And Nintendo is look, that's the funny thing. Everyone's like, oh, get with the times, Nintendo. Well, now they are with that, and everybody bitches about it.
Server space costs money.
Sure.
And it's very, very expensive.
Sure.
Very
Well, like
expensive.
we're a spoiled, what do you want, a community gamers. We want as much as possible for as little as possible. And
kind of like game chasing.
Yeah, no, and I was about to say, and I'm including us in that we. I said we for a reason, because I'm the same way. Gimme, but I don't want to pay a lot for it. But again, if you're gonna advance, you're gonna try to hang with the other big boys in this category, then you have to do something, because again, it costs them money. We've basically been picking back off of there. I would like to see actual user names, gamer tags, instead of these fucking numbers.
Yeah.
That look like an old, bases loaded 2 code.
Yeah.
I would like to see that. That would be kind of neat.
Now, there are two things about the online that really piss me off, though. I will say that. Well, one that kind of is like, whatever, that's irritating. One that really pisses me off. First of all, they're going to give you a free retro game, like I think every month that you're signed up, but it's basically a rental. You don't get to keep that. It's kind of annoying, but at the same time, it's not like they have to give you anything to begin with.
They don't. And see, with that, I actually heard that as long as you are paying for the servers, for the subscription, you get that game. So it's not like, oh, January, here's Super Mario Brothers. And then
Right.
February, here's Donkey Kong, but you lose Super Mario Brothers.
So you don't lose it?
To my understanding, and the way I've been explained, you don't lose it as long as you're paying for that service. You get to continue to keep your game. Now, if you stop paying, and that's on your console, I guess, or in however they store it, technology these days, I don't understand it. You don't have access to it anymore.
Yeah, well, that's the same thing on PS4 though. You don't. If my PS4 PSN is about to be up. Once that's up, I can't play any of the games I've downloaded anymore.
Okay,
that's just how it works. Because you're basically renting these things. You don't own them. See, I heard differently. I heard that like it's one new game a month, but it basically writes over the old one, and they pick it for you. So I don't know what's right or wrong.
And I've heard it both ways too. So I just don't know. I'm hoping that it's the latter, where you get to keep everything that you download.
Now the thing that pisses me off, and this as far as I know has been pretty much confirmed because of all the reports that I've read from Nintendo and from people reporting on Nintendo who, and I'm not saying some bullshit websites. I'm actually like actual legitimate websites, and they say that more than likely you're not going to be able to chat with friends online unless you go through your smartphone with an app that you have to pay for, by the way.
Okay, see, if that, no, I won't do that.
I'm not doing
I won't
that
do
either.
that.
But then again, it's like how many co-op games on the Switch that you're going to be able to play with you? I can think of like Splatoon.
Right.
And Mario Kart.
Right.
That would be cool.
Smash Brothers.
If I was playing those with friends, I'd want to be able to talk. But at that point, I'd just rather just get on Skype and then use the phone.
Or you know what? Because, well, this is how we are. Start a PlayStation chat.
Start a PlayStation
chat and play with each other online.
That would actually be hilarious
Yeah.
to be able to do. That would work out perfectly.
Yeah, I would rather do that than download something. I'm just not going to download more shit on my phone, and especially if I got to pay for it, pay to chat. See, that's where it gets into like, okay, I'm already paying for your online service. Why isn't that included?
Well,
that needs to be there.
I mean, why even have that to where it has to be on your phone? Why not just have it on the system? It doesn't make any. It's one of those things that I was talking about with Nintendo that make these decisions. It's like that doesn't even. I don't even understand why you would do that. What's the benefit to them to have to do that, other than just like a few more bucks from an app? But that's not being consumer friendly.
Right.
I
agree.
Especially when gamers they've had something. We can put in a like GTA 5, like we do all the time, be able to chat online while we're playing. Just put it in your freaking headphones and play. I mean, gamers are used to that at this point. Why? It feels like this is a new system, a new step forward, but we're taking a step back. This seems like some shit that would happen like in the early 2000s or something.
Right, and see, and that's the funny thing is you've always, since online, console online at least, like, and I don't mean, back in the day when like Dreamcast had it, but like PlayStation 2, with SOCOM, you could talk to each other and stuff like that. Yeah. It's just something that's been there. Now I'm sure, but PC, I'm thinking it's,
oh yeah,
it's always been there, but they've always been ahead of the curve when it comes to this kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, it's always been there. Why are they changing it? Like I said, see, and you're right. It's stuff like that. It's like, really, Nintendo? Like, I got two more things that I kind of want your opinion on, and y'all's too. Like, this is an open discussion. Please put whatever you want in the comments about it, talking about it, your thoughts and whatnot. Those two things are, one, I've seen people saying that this is going to be the end of Nintendo's handheld division, their handheld market, because they're trying to put it into one. I personally think no. I don't think that's going to be the case, and here's why. Essentially, the Switch controller, whatever the hell they're calling it, I don't think they're calling it a controller right now.
Joy-Cons?
Whatever, it's a controller. That essentially, when you put the fucking things that come off on it, you can walk around, walk outside with it, whatever. First of all, how much connectivity with internet, unless you're connected to Wi-Fi, someone's Wi-Fi, something like that, obviously.
Right.
I can see you taking the game, any game, just like in any handheld. But here's the thing. Those things are going to be so expensive to replace.
Yeah.
I'm not, as a parent, I would not let my son walk out of the house with that. Hey, you got soccer practice. Okay, can I bring the Joy-Con, the Switch with? No, you can't.
Yeah,
turn it off.
The Joy-Cons
you have a
are
DS.
the little thing, but yeah, I know what you're saying. But
yeah,
it's a big unprotected screen.
Exactly.
Now, there's obviously going to be third-party companies that your Wii, your Switch protector or whatever case or whatever.
Sure.
But still, that's like taking like the Wii U thing out in public.
Yeah.
It's like a 3DS. You know what? You're not using it. Close that shit up in this little convenient thing and put it in your back pocket.
Mm-hmm. Or put it in a little case. And I know the Switch comes with carrying cases. I actually got the Zelda Special Edition, which has a Zelda themed carrying case for the entire console itself. But again, the initial purchase is $300. Like I said, I'm not going to let my child take this thing out of the house. It's not going to happen.
It's too big and bulky to be like a
permanent
handheld. If for some reason, I don't foresee it happen, but if for some reason 3DS sales just drop right the fuck off,
and I don't think it'll happen.
Then Nintendo will put probably all their eggs in the Switch basket, of course. But I just don't see people replacing their 3DSs with a Switch. It doesn't make any sense.
I don't either. And here's the other thing: the 3DS. If you want to date back to the Game Boy into the 3DS, that handheld fucking monopoly basically, with that the handheld market has never gone away. It's never suffered. It's amazing the amount of sales that the DS, the 3DS, and whatnot has sold. Why would you take that away when that's guaranteed sales? I don't think Nintendo is that dumb to say, okay, no more handheld, no more 3DS. You guys now have this hybrid combo that you have to deal with. I think that'd be a mistake, and I think that because their sales are so good with 3DS, that is why they're able to take chances with something like the Wii U. They have the money. Anyone who thinks Nintendo doesn't have the money to do what they're doing and to quote unquote release failed consoles like the Wii U, I mean, is 15 million consoles considered a fail?
Well, you gotta gauge it in the market, and in the market where Xbox and PS4 are selling much more.
Okay, sure, but in the grand scheme of things, maybe they're not leading the charge as far as current gen console sales go. But 15 million units times what was it when it came out? $300, $400. I mean, do the math on that. Even now, it's $250. You do the math on that, they still made billions.
Well, I will say this though, most companies don't make back what they make, or what they spend developing and making consoles from just console sales.
That's what they tell us anyways.
It's the software.
Okay, that's what they tell us anyways. I have my own personal thoughts on that, but that's a completely different video altogether. I don't want to really get into that. I think... Okay, anyways, the point is with all the sales that the 3DS has brought Nintendo, Amiibo, fuck the Amiibo craze, okay? That shit right there, every time a fucking, anything Nintendo first party comes out, it does well, it sells well. Again, my point was Nintendo has the money. Nintendo can afford to quote unquote take chances on something like the Wii U and for it to quote unquote fail. Now, how many times can they do that? That's a different question. Okay.
Honestly, if this does fail, I could see them changing things up quite a bit.
They need to.
I just don't think that it's going to fail.
Okay, I don't think it's going to fail either. I think. Well, before we get into that.
Well, did Wii U sell out on pre-orders, or I'm pretty sure it didn't. I think everyone was just like, Wii U. Why do I need a Wii U?
I don't know. See, here's the thing with Wii U, and I've heard this from people in the stores selling the thing. I know a lot of GameStop employees, and they still to this day, they tell me that parents come in and they think the Wii U is some kind of basically extension of the Wii or some kind of add-on to the Wii or something like that. It was poor fucking naming and poor marketing on Nintendo's part, naming this thing Wii U. You should have named it Wii 2, kind of like PlayStation does. PlayStation 2, 3, 4. Everybody knows when a new one comes out, that's the newest console. Okay? Nintendo dropped the ball on that. And again, still to this day, because my sources tell me that parents still come in thinking that the Wii U is not a completely different console, that it's connected to the Wii in some way, shape, or form. So that's a mistake. At least they renamed it. They named it something completely different. Switch, I get it. You can switch it from home to your hand, handheld, whatever. Again, it's Nintendo trying something gimmicky. I think it's going to be a sleeper. Here's the thing. GameStops are sold out across the country.
I think everyone is.
Okay, I think everyone is sold out. Now, I did some quick numbers, just kind of, they're loose numbers based on the amount of GameStops just in the United States. And I think it's something like 5,000 or 4,500 or something in that range. My GameStop had 39 consoles. I know some GameStops had less, but I know other GameStops had more. So if you just take an average of like 35 and times that by 5,000, it's a couple 100,000, like 300,000 or something like that. I don't know.
There are estimates about already people who are like.
But that's just GameStop. That doesn't include Walmart. That doesn't include Target. That doesn't include Best Buy. It doesn't include anything else that might still be out there.
Well, Nintendo actually came out and said how many they're shipping in North America. Actually gave an actual number. I just don't know what that number is.
Okay.
I forgot it. I would think it was like 1 million maybe. And
if we know Nintendo, they're only going to ship enough to cover what was pre-purchased. Well, because that's what they always do.
Not even that, because I've also heard of people getting their pre-orders canceled.
From Amazon and stuff? Or just...
I can't remember where, but I've seen people on Facebook, well, it looks like my Switch order was just canceled. I can't remember where it was.
See, I know GameStop, I was told this from a very reliable source. GameStop, if you have more than one pre-ordered, even if they're at different stores, but it's on that same Pro Rewards account, they'll cancel one of them.
No, I don't think it was people with two.
I'm not saying that people did that. I'm just saying that is a thing. So basically, there's not even enough to cover pre-orders, is what you're telling me.
There's a good possibility.
Good possibility. Okay, and see, those are just like USA numbers. That's not including Canada. That's not including any other region of the world, anything like that. How much is this going to sell day one? And day one obviously includes pre-orders. Like, you're not going to be able to walk up to a GameStop
and get one.
On pre-order night. On release night.
Unless there's a guy standing outside and goes, "Hey, you want to switch?"
Right. But you're not going to be able to get it from GameStop. Is my point. So I think a lot of people are trashing it. A lot of people trash Nintendo because it's the popular thing to do. A lot of people like to jump on that Nintendo hate bandwagon, and even so, people are doing this now. I think it's going to be a sleeper. I think all these people that are talking shit are going to be seeing reviews when the thing does come out, seeing the games when they do come out, and eating their words and going and buying one. And you know what? If it's not going to be for them, it's going to be for my son, who I don't involve in my game chasing affairs. You know what I mean? I don't tell him what I'm doing, this and that. Randomly asked me yesterday. He goes, "So, you getting a Switch?" There you go.
You gonna let him take it outside?
Hell no, I'm not gonna let him take it outside. But I am. He asked for one, and that's the thing. And I made a video on Nintendo. Kids like Nintendo. Kids want Nintendo products. And there's a huge market of gamers that are under 18, that are under fucking 14. A huge market. Plus, Nintendo usually has a better price point, and blah, 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 blah. But I've said all that in another video already. Now, here's one big thing where people are griping about. And me personally, I don't think it's too big a deal because the games are coming. But the launch titles, there's 5.
I don't give a shit because one of them's Zelda. I mean, honestly, what more do you need?
That's exactly my point.
And then another one is Bomberman, which I like Bomberman. So
unfortunately, I think Bomberman is going to be overshadowed by Zelda.
Oh, it definitely will be overshadowed. But it's probably going to be one of those games that people didn't get at launch and then go back and then go, oh, if it's a good game, that is, and be like, oh, I need to pick that up.
Or one of those things like Nintendo likes to do, they wind up not making anymore and taking it off the shelf. So
yeah, so
I would go buy Bomberman.
Go get Bomberman.
Go buy Bomberman. I have a feeling about Bomberman. But Zelda, you have Zelda. I'm not going to beat Zelda in a day. I'm not going to beat Zelda in a week.
No, have you seen the map?
Exactly. Yes, I have. And that's my point is, now, are there people out there who will? Sure. Why? Because they have nothing better to do for whatever reason. They're able to sit in front of a TV and play video games nonstop all day long. And I do have days like that, but I can't do that every single day. Zelda's going to keep me busy for a while, especially when I still have PlayStation 4 games I'm currently still playing, and I hadn't even hardly touched. Some games I hadn't even opened yet. Mafia 3, bought that, hadn't even opened it yet. Okay? I bought Resident Evil 7 the other day. I've played maybe 2 hours, haven't picked it back up. Why? Because I'm still so engulfed in GTA 5. So Zelda will keep me busy until that Mario comes out, until that Mario Kart comes out, which dates have already been announced, at least for Mario Kart, until the new Donkey Kong, hopefully a new Metroid, hopefully a whole slew of fucking shit. You know, fuck Smash Brothers, I don't care about that one. I'll be sleeping on that day when that comes out. But it's going to happen, it's going to come, because these are the things. Now, one thing I think, okay, so basically my point is, I don't give a shit how small the release is because Zelda. Because Zelda.
And ultimately, that's why you buy a Nintendo console. You play Zelda, Mario, Metroid, F-Zero. Well, not so much F-Zero. They need to release an F-Zero, but all the first-party games. That's why you
Star
buy
Fox,
a Nintendo.
Pilot Wings, all that good stuff. Yeah.
That's why you need to. That's why you buy a Nintendo, and so. I don't know. People just need to, and that's why I'm going to buy a Nintendo, and that's why I kind of now actually I'm having this conversation. I kind of wish I had pre-ordered it because now I want to play Zelda, but I'll wait. I'll hold off on that. And I think that's why I personally just wanted them to do a regular console that you just set up your TV and hook up to your TV and just have a regular controller, because I think like the Pro controller, which if I'm gonna play Zelda, I want the Pro controller on that. That's like another $70.
Yeah, $70 or $80 or something.
And
like that.
those Joy-Cons, don't get me started on that, man. Look at these sad squatch hands. I think they were designed.
I read something somewhere, and someone was like, "I got big hands, and this thing is small, but surprisingly, it's comfortable and it works." So maybe it's gonna surprise you. Yeah, maybe. I don't know, but
just playing on the regular thing, it's like playing on the Wii U, and I just never liked that. It's not comfortable.
I like my hands closer.
It's not okay. So once I get the Switch, of course I'm gonna have to go spend another $70 to get the damn controller for it. Because Nintendo.
But hang on though. What's a brand new PS4 controller cost right now?
I think like $50, right?
$50 to $60. New, brand new. We're not talking used.
Right, but it comes with the system.
One does come with the system, but one comes with the Switch also. You're getting a way to play your games.
Yeah, but not the way I want to.
True.
Because of gimmicks.
I understand that, but you're still getting a way to play your games. If you want an additional controller, you have to purchase it, just like any other console, Xbox, PlayStation, or anything else. You know, the days of consoles coming with 2 controllers are long gone. I mean, that hasn't happened since what, Super Nintendo?
Well, yeah.
When it comes to Nintendo, at least.
That's ultimately the heart of my discourse with it all is just release a regular console with a regular controller. That's all I'm saying, because that's all I care about. But I'm not their biggest market.
So the launch lineup, you're like me, you don't give a shit, basically. You don't care how small it is.
No, because even if I mustered up the cash to get a Switch, I'd just get Zelda and that's it. Because I wouldn't want Bomberman, but I wouldn't get in like this whole like what was that punching game or whatever it was?
One two switch or something like that.
No reason why that shouldn't be a pack-in title. There's no reason for that, and it's like a full-fledged like priced game on that. I mean. It needs to come with something, even if it's a tech demo, and it looks like that 1-2 punch is just a tech demo, and they're charging for it.
Yeah, I know some people were saying that should have been a new Punch Out or something, but
yeah. Then if it was a new Punch Out, then yeah, I could justify the whole going out and buying it or something. But you think I don't give a shit about? Nah. You'll be seeing 1-2 punch for like $5 at GameStop next year.
Hopefully that happens before April 22nd, 23rd. So I don't know. I mean, that could be. I don't know. Look, I'm looking forward to it, and I mean, I'm getting one when it comes out, and it's Nintendo. Nintendo. I'm gonna say it. They don't make bad shit. Even the Wii was fun. The Wii U was good. Underrated. You want to talk about underrated consoles 10 years from now? Wii U. People didn't appreciate it.
If I do actually unhook it from the television, I think the most likely scenario would be like me taking it to bed, putting it on the nightstand, and playing in bed.
Okay, I can see that. I will say this though about Zelda, and I said this when Zelda was a launch title for the Wii U. If they would have kept it only on the Switch and not had it on both consoles, anybody who's been jonesing for that new Zelda would had to have bought a Switch. Now, again, though, the money's made in the software, not in the hardware.
By the way, you collectors out there who, you better get Zelda on the Wii U. It's going to be the very last game produced on the Wii U, and that thing will be collectible eventually. So if you're into like collecting games and you want a complete library on the Wii U, which is actually very easily and doable, get that game. That's gonna be one of those systems, kind of like how the Dreamcast. I don't personally like the Dreamcast, but I know a lot of people do. It's like one of their favorite systems. But it had a short lifespan and kind of got overshadowed by other things like the PS2 and stuff. And now people go back and look at the Dreamcast and go, "Oh, that's one of the best systems ever." You know, I don't think the Wii U is on that level for a lot of people, but it will be one of those systems that people go look back on and be like, "Man, there were some really good games on the Wii U." Not a huge library. But a lot of good stuff that was the only way you could play it on the Wii U, and you're not going to find them anywhere else unless Nintendo does this whole like converting them to the Switch thing, which I wouldn't put it past them.
I mean, it's Nintendo, right? So, anyways, there's our Nintendo Switch thoughts. I guess we'll wait and see what happens in March. See how it is, and look forward to. Our unboxing and thoughts video on the Switch coming in March, and with any luck we can get it up within a few hours of picking it up from GameStop. And again, we'll probably most likely post that on the Game Chasers channel, correct?
Sure. We'll get it up.
It'll get posted
in 2 hours.
There or here, no matter what.
But if your mom is here, I'll be getting it up in 2 seconds. And on that note,
thanks for listening to us ramble. Bye.